In today's Health Alert, the FDA unexpectedly denied approval of the first needle-free alternative to the EpiPen, that life-saving device used during a severe allergic reaction. The decision surprised drug maker ARS Pharmaceuticals, given the agency's own advisory committee endorsed approval back in May. Our chief health editor, Dr. Partha Nandi, joins us now with more details. And Doc, why do you think the Fed said no?
Yeah, it's important. That's why we're doing the story. It's very unusual, Glenda, that the FDA does not follow the advisory committee's recommendations, right? However, a significant cause of concern was this, a lack of clinical data. You see, the drug called Neffy is an epinephrine nasal spray, but it was not studied in folks experiencing anaphylaxis. Now, anaphylaxis, fancy word for a severe and potentially life-threatening allergic reaction. It needs to be treated immediately with epinephrine, which is given via an auto-injector like EpiPen. So what did the FDA advisory committee base their recommendations on then? Well, ARS Pharmaceuticals said that the nasal spray was, quote unquote, comparable to EpiPen based on studies conducted in both animals and individuals who did not experience anaphylaxis. So you see, conducting a proper randomized controlled clinical trial, that's the best kind of trial, in this case would be unethical. In these trials, people either would receive the drug or a placebo. However, if you have anaphylaxis, that can be deadly if left untreated. It triggers the immune system to release a bunch of chemicals. You can experience hives, wheezing, swelling of the mouth, throat, or tongue, difficulty breathing, in some cases loss of consciousness. So testing new drugs, Glenda, on people who would potentially die due to a placebo or potentially ineffective drug is just not acceptable.
Okay, so then what do they need to do to comply?
Yes, the FDA is asking that the company do further testing. Okay. Specifically, they're asking a study involving repeat doses under allergen-induced allergic rhinitis conditions. This means that they want repeat doses of the nasal spray that will be compared to repeat doses of the auto-injector. You know, symptoms that you talk about could include sneezing, itching, congestion. The company plans to resubmit its application first half of next year in 2024. Now, I'm hopeful of this, that the new data will show that the nasal spray is effective. Why? Because I know lots of folks, including many of my patients, who are just afraid of needles. They can be scary and intimidating to a lot of folks, causing them to hesitate or wait before administering this life-saving medication. One study actually found that roughly 3.3 million people have epinephrine auto-injector prescriptions, but only half regularly use it or carry it, to be honest. And that's very concerning. And I think that a nasal spray would actually be easier on many people, especially families with young children. And while I'm all for a nasal spray, we definitely want to make sure it's effective, works properly, and saves lives. So I'm hoping that this data comes in and we can offer this alternative.
Yeah, much easier.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Doc.
Hey, my pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Of course.
And if you have a health question for the good doctor, you can email him, Dr. Nandi at AskDrNandi.com, or send it to us on Facebook or Twitter.